Hello friends, welcome back to my bedroom. Probably a corner of the bedroom that you have not seen before. But I am here, it is Christmas Eve, and I am trying to get a video done just under the wire, considering I've also got to prep all the stuff for the turkey and do a bunch of Christmas food, and I've got to go to mass this evening. I don't know if I'm going to get this done for Christmas Eve, but we live and dream. But as you may be able to see, I have a pile of presents that I need to wrap. Some of them are presents that I have bought myself, others are things that my dad brought to me yesterday and was just like, here are gifts for your mother, wrap them, which is quite a Christmas tradition now. So I thought I would try and multitask and try and get this job done at the same time as doing my last video for Vlogmas, which will be the Christmas Joy book tag. I was tagged by Fran over at Fran Nook in the Pages, and I thought this was sufficiently festive enough for today. So yeah, let's get wrapping and get on with the questions. I think the hardest part for wrapping with me is where on earth do I put the sellotape? I think I might be really bad and put it on my laptop. This video is already going to be chaotic, I can feel it. I know that Apple like to depict themselves as being very multifunctional, but I don't think Steve Jobs had this in mind for my MacBook. Oh, no, okay. The first present that I'm going to wrap is one that I've got for my dad. This is a book that he had seen a review of like months and months ago, and I kind of logged it in the back of my mind that he wanted to read it, which is The Fall of Robespierre, 24 Hours in Revolutionary Paris by Colin Jones. And the first question is, anticipation. The Christmas excitement is real. What book releases are you most anticipating? Now, you will probably have seen that I did a whole video during Vlogmas of the books that I'm anticipating coming out between January and March. I am a glider. So if you want to see books, plural, that I am anticipating in the next few months, then definitely go there. But I wanted to mention one that is not coming out between January and March, one that's coming out a little bit later, but that I'm very excited about, which is The House with the Golden Door by Elodie Harper, which is the next book, I believe, following on from The Wolf Den, which I read earlier this year and really enjoyed. Wasn't expecting to, but snuck up out of nowhere. It's set in Pompeii in, I think it's 76 AD, so just before Vesuvius. I read it when I was back in London and really got into it. So I think we're following Amara as she is continuing being a courtesan in Pompeii, struggling to get her friends who live in the brothels in Pompeii free. And I imagine meeting some powerful Roman people along the way. My family are always like, oh, you're such a neat rapper. I'm really not, but I put enough sellotape around it to make it look like it's neat. But present one done. Question number 2 is Christmas songs and carols. What book or author can you not help but sing its praises? I think if we're going for who can I not help sing praises for, I think that's pretty obvious, because I keep on talking about Ask a Historian by Greg Jenner at any opportunity that I get. You'll probably have seen in one of my Vlogmas vlogs that I actually went to an author talk at Blackwell's where Greg Jenner was talking, and it was such a good talk. It was really informative and funny, which is like all of his podcasts and all of his books. And I got my book signed. So yeah, definitely Ask a Historian is probably the book that I talk about the most. As for presents, I'm on to the present that I've got for my best friend Sophie, which I'm not gonna lie to you is a bit of a cobbled together present. I was so out of it between show week and also being ill the week after that I completely forgot to ask what she wanted for Christmas. So it was this past week and I was like, oh my god, I don't have a present for her. Let's just throw things together that I think she might like. So first off, to be really safe, I got her some Aperol. As somebody who does not drink herself, I don't really tend to pay attention to what my friends drink, which is really bad. What I need to do, I need to get like a OneNote document up and I need to like surreptitiously take note of all of my friends' favourite drinks, so that when I'm stuck for what to get them for a present, I can just be like, here you go. I am about 90% sure that Sophie really likes Aperol spritzes, so I'm sorry Sophie if you don't like this, because I've just been like, here, drink it. I also really randomly got her some golden Oreos. Sophie really loves custard creams, and I have been saying to her that golden Oreos are basically like custard creams but better, and they're vegan, you know, win-win. And because I like to buy a book for everybody if I can, and so I've gone for a book that I actually haven't read myself. I'm really intrigued to see what she thinks about it though, which is Clara the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. I have read Never Let Me Go and The Remains of the Day, but I don't know, I was thinking about what book to get her and something in my head was like, I think she might like this. So, you know, let me know Sophie, what do you think? But I also feel like it's a very good present blueprint to go down is buy somebody a book and then buy them like a drink or some chocolate that they really like. Because if they don't like the book, you can just be like, but this too. I actually have something that will fit really perfectly into this paper. Oh, this is for my mother, this is from my dad. It is her favourite perfume, which is CK1. Or maybe it won't fit perfectly. I will make it fit. You will fit. That is for my mum, so I'll put it on the bed so I remember. Question number 3 is Gingerbread Houses. What book or series has wonderful world building? As you'll probably know, I don't tend to read that many books or series. I think I might wrap this box. But I feel like the series I always go back to, and I think, God, it's just so atmospheric. It's a world that exists already. It's a world that like I know very well, but I think often, especially in fiction, isn't done justice, is Tudor England. I feel like a lot of historical fiction authors just kind of rely on our own knowledge and don't really bother to create that atmosphere themselves. Whereas the Wolf Hall trilogy, I think, has some of the best world building ever. It just immerses you right into that landscape, and you feel like through Thomas Cromwell's worldview that you can like reach out and see and touch and smell everything that he's looking at, everything that he's experiencing. It's so vivid in its description. Why can't I do this? So yeah, that would be a book or series where I think the world building is really strong. As somebody who doesn't read much fantasy, that's probably the best you'll get from me. Question number 4 is A Christmas Carol, a favourite classic or one that you want to read? I think I'm going to go for one that I want to read because I'm pretty sure I'm going to use one of my favourite classics for one of the later questions. So a classic that I really want to read, and one that I'm definitely going to read next year because it's going to be one of the classic picks for the I Should Have Read That book club, is Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. I will link down below in the description Shannon from 155 Books announcement video where she talks about our January, February, March picks. But the March pick is one that was chosen by me because it's my birthday month, and it was Peter Pan because somehow, I don't know how, I have never read Peter Pan. I think it just wasn't one of my favourite stories growing up. Like, I watched the Disney film and I love the Disney film, and like I watched things like Hook, but we never read it in school and I was never particularly drawn to it. So yeah, somehow it has just completely bypassed me. But you know, the I Should Have Read That book club is exactly for that. All of the books that I should have read by now, but haven't. I know that the book is very, very different from the Disney film. I know it's meant to be a lot darker, but I feel like I welcome that. So we'll see how we go. Question number 5 is Christmas sweets. What book would you love to receive for Christmas? I think we're a bit too late in the day for this to be an actual reality, something that would happen. But the 4 top books on my wish list at the moment are Learwife by J.R. Thorpe, which is a retelling of King Lear, Matrix by Lauren Groff, which is another historical fiction but set in the medieval period. I think it's following nuns in a convent. I don't know much more about it, but it sounds really good. The Madman's Library by Edward Brooke-Hitching, and then Harlots, Whores and Hackabouts, A History of Sex for Sale by Kate Lister. We know that I love The Curious History of Sex by Kate Lister, so I'm desperate to read that. Those are my top 4. I don't think I'm going to get any of them for Christmas, but maybe in the coming weeks. I don't know. Hello, editing Charlotte here, because I just realised that I completely skipped over one of the questions, which is candles in the window, name a book that gives you those warm, fuzzy feelings. And I think the answer I have to go for with that is the classic that I alluded to, the classic that I didn't mention, which is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. That's just a complete comfort read for me at this point. It's one of my favourite books of all time, if not my favourite book of all time. And every time I read it, it's just like coming home. It's just like, like there's a reason that I'm constantly watching the BBC or the 2005 movie. It's just complete comfort watching. I love this story. I love all the characters. I love the writing. So apologies for not remembering to answer this sooner. Question number 7 is Christmas trees and decorations. What are some of your favourite book covers? UI, look, because I just did. I think the last video that I posted was my top 10 beautiful books of 2021. And I have done a few beautiful books videos recently, but aside from those, what else? Give me a sec, I did not prep. A couple of the books that almost made it into the top 10 but just about missed out were Unwell Women by Elinor Cleghorn. Just look at that beautiful cover. And then also Strange Antics by Clement Knox. Wasn't too fussed on the book itself, but I was very much seduced by the cover. Seduced. I didn't even plan that. How do you wrap tube items? Like a Christmas cracker. I know that's not the proper way to wrap one of these, but hey. New wrapping paper time. And then the final question is Christmas joy. What are some of your favourite things about Christmas and or some of your favourite Christmas memories? One of my favourite things to do around Christmas is just going out and seeing all of the the trees up, all the lights. And I think that's one of the things I'm really missing about, you know, this current time, just not really feeling comfortable going out. So I'm only seeing like snippets here and there of how places have decorated for Christmas, of like going out to the shops and seeing everybody. So especially last week when I was in isolation, I just felt so un-Christmassy, which is a rarity for me because I'm quite a little Christmas elf. But I just love spending Christmas Day with my family. I love getting the food together, especially now that I don't live here anymore. That's really important to me. And I feel like a lot of my favourite Christmas memories now are seeing my niece, seeing her experience Christmas for the first time. And she's getting more into it now that she's 3. So it's just, you know, spending time with her. And speaking of, here is one of the books that I've got for my niece. The 3rd book in the Franklin and Luna series by Jen Campbell. I bought her the other 2 of these, I think, for Christmas or for her birthday, and she loves them. So I'm hoping that she will enjoy this just as much. But as always, whenever I try and do a video where I'm talking at the same time as doing an actual task, I've managed to run out of questions before I've actually finished doing any presents. Let's see what we've done. We've done 2 here and 2 here. Yeah, we've got still to do. Oh, and the book. So yeah, I can't talk and do things at the same time. But anyway, I hope you enjoy the very lo-fi Christmas book tag that I've just done. I hope you have a fantastic, fantastic Christmas, and we'll see you at some point towards the new year. Bye!